Today I have a very big update for our Martial Artist Monk build. This time I wanted to push to the limits our defensive layers and our damage. The results is just amazing. All the defensive changes that came in 0.5 is really working, and now I can safely say just face tanking everything, guys. That's it. That is the game. What's up, guys? Pidget here. Currently this build has 5.7k energy shield, 25k evasion rating, which is transitioning 76% evade chance, and we have 86% deflection chance. Our recovery is coming from the ghost dance and the faster start of energy shield recharge. I want to start with the damage part of this build and how I improved my damage. The first segment of this will not cost you anything. So let's start with the first one. This one is very simple. You just level up to level 90, because at this level you will getting your 16 for your Ascendancy skills, which ones can give you 40% more damage alone. If your build is this stonky than mine, then this should be not a problem at all, or if you're following my cheaper version of this build. And the second one, I made many changes to the skill tree, so we will be more tonkier and we will deal more damage. More about this in the passive tree section. The following ones will cost you some currency. I crafted my new weapon, I got 2 new rings, new amulet, new jewels, a new unique jewel, Heart of the Well, and a rare timeless jewel, which is also made by me as well. And with all of this, you can basically delete majority of the endgame content in the game without a problem. Why? You can face tank as well if you really want. But honestly, majority of the time, the bosses only can land maybe one attack and they just die on that place. Defensive changes. So I changed up a lot of things. Literally, I changed all of my gear pieces, and this is why I have much higher evasion and energy shield. I swapped to a pure energy shield helmet, a pure evasion boots. This has almost 900 evasion rating alone. If you're adding the evasion scaling from your passive tree, this is transitioning to like 4k evasion alone. So this is why I decided to using this one. The core for defenses is coming from the body armor itself. Now I have 1.4k evasion rating and 400 energy shield body armor, which is literally gives us, I think, 70% of our defensive layer, and this can cost you a little bit more money. And also I added blind to the build, so this is lowering down the enemy accuracy rating, so we can have better deflection chance thanks to the new deflection formula that is GGG added in 0.5. And also when you lowering down the enemy accuracy rating, your evasion is going up, because this is how calculation works. I changed a lot of items in this build since we last met, so let's start with our weapon. So this weapon, I crafted this one by myself. I dropped this weapon with the hybrid physical damage and the flat physical damage, and then I just was using the desecrate mod, and then I landed on increased physical damage, and also I have a very huge amount of critical hit chance on this one, and then I finished up with the +3 to all attack skills, and basically this is how I get my weapon. And I changed my runes as well. Now I have a perfect iron rune inside this weapon, and also I'm using the Pharaoh's rune of the hand, because this gives you a lot of extra damage, better than the perfect iron rune. 2 new ring as well. So this one is basically not giving me any damage, because I wanted to push a little bit further the item rarity on this side. So this is why I have 32% item rarity on this one, and a little bit life and resistances, and also increase shock magnitude of shock if you consume the frenzy charge recently. The other ring is a very nice one as well. So this has item rarity as well, and also it gives you a lot of extra mana and also fizz damage to attacks, because this build is liking this mod. And I have a little bit rarity on this one. The amulet is a fine piece of work, so I purchased this one with the increased evasion, energy shield, and all of the goodies on this one. I took the risk, very bad flat energy shield mod, and I took the risk and I used the essence, increased global armor, evasion and energy shield, and I was so lucky and I was able to hit that one. So this amulet gives me almost 1k energy shield and 1k or 2 or 3k evasion rating, which is kinda good. And also now I anointed the Well of Power, we can have a pretty nice mana sustain. And although this will cost you like a lot of money, like a little bit more than 1 divine, because the fear liquid emotion is kind of expensive currently, so this will cost you a lot if you want to get this one. And the next one is the helmet. I got this helmet by myself. I crafted this one as well. As you can see, it has a 500 energy shield roll on this one, and I just dropped this one with like tier 1 percentage increase and also like cold resistance on this one as a blue, and then I upgraded it with the essence. As you can see, the fire resistance is a crafted one, and then I was using on a desecrated mat and I landed on a tier 2. So basically this helmet cannot be better in theory without spending too much money. This is a very nice one because it has a lot of resistances, and the belt I'm using, guys, still my very old belt from, I don't know, this dropped in around tier 5 maps or something like that, and literally a tons of life and double resistance and a lot of extra mono as well. And the boots, I already mentioned this one. This has almost a 900 evasion rating with 30% movement speed and also cold res and also chaos res and a little bit stun threshold. So basically this is a very nice one, although it would be much better if I would have on this one deflection rating, but sadly that's costing too much. And the unique glass, guys, I still using the local carners, so this is not really changed. Now the passive tree is changed as well, guys, because once again I get a new weapon, so my crit chance is around like 80 or 90%, so it's kind of high. So now I can start scaling critical damage, and this is why I allocated here the crit damage, here this crit damage node, and also up here as well a little bit more crit damage increase if you dealt a critical strike recently, a lot of extra, you know, deflection rating scaling here and here as well, and also even more here. So, and also this is grants you mono cost efficiency, which is very welcomed for this build. And basically this is all about the passive tree changes, but I got two new javel, as you can see here. So the first one is the Heart of the Well unique javel. So this is could be costing you a lot, but I was so lucky with this one. This was one whole divine on the trade side. I was mind blown away by this one because it has extra damage, crit damage bonus, and also increased evasion rating from the equipped body armor. So basically this body armor gives us a tons of extra evasion rating thanks to this bestial skin and also with the Heart of the Well combination. And the other one, this is the first time I'm using, guys, a Time Lost Emerald Javel. This will provide you crit damage bonus and also increase critical hit chance for attacks. This 2 mod is kind of alone, this 2 mod is pretty damn viable because this is providing you a lot of crit damage and crit chance, and this is the perfect position on the tree. As you can see here, this give me a lot of extra crit chance, crit damage, so this is absolutely worth. I paid for this one for divine, and then I tried to desecrate the mud on this one. Sadly I was just hit the projectile speed, so it is what it is. Now the ascendancy is not get changed, so we're using the way of the stone fist, we're using here the holoform technique and the holofocus technique and the Runic Meridians. I want to talk about the Runic Meridians because this is a very reoccurring question. So I'm using in my helmet slot Glacial rune, so for the cold resistance. In the body armor I'm using the rune of warding for 50% reduce effect of curses and 30% increased energy shield recharge rate here, and here a little bit more lightning resistance, and in the boot slot 5% movement speed. And basically this is my Runic Meridians. Now the links, guys. So on the rend we're still using the prolonged duration, and basically that's it. This gives you a lot of extra damage. You're just pressing one time on the boss fight and basically just spin to win. And on the holoform, now I have 6 link, as you see here. So we're using holoform with Whirling Assault, Armor Break 3, Heavy Swing, Blindside, and mobility. Mobility is just the quality of life, as you can see here, how fast I can move, right, via channeling this. This is just for clear, and on signal target like bigger boss fights, you want to use the Burgeon 2. This is providing you 40% more damage because you channeling this one till infinite, so this is a pretty damn strong option for this one. Although I was forget to change this one many times to the big boss fights, so that is showing you as well, I think, how good is this build. And I'm using on the holofocus, magnifying area, blind, cooldown recovery 2, maim, and also life leech 3. Now the reason why I'm using life leech here, because while you mapping, you sometimes getting hit by something, you starting bleeding or you getting poisoned, and that is lowering down your HP, right? Because it's bypassing your energy shield. And if you're not on full life, you will not trigger the killer instinct here. So that means you will losing out a lot of extra damage. This is just why I put in the life leech, because your bell will hit the enemies and you will maybe sometimes not even notice you lost HP because of that. So, and also you don't need to use your life flask. And we're using here Ghost Dance, Charge Regulation, and Wind Dancer. On the Ghost Dance, I'm using Cooldown Recovery 2, using here Clarity, and I'm using here Blind 2, so at least my Wind Dancer is also blinding the enemies. And basically that's all of my links, guys, because this build is still one button, guys. I know, guys, all of the damage increase tech like pouncing, linking to the death mark and so on, I know all of this tech, but currently my main goal to make this build one button, and maybe occasionally you using your hand, and basically that's it. So I got that one, guys. Thank you very much for the feedback, but please understand that the main purpose of this build became one button beast. So guys, this is my endgame update video for my Whirling Martial Artist Monk, and I blow away all of these defensive layers, and we're not done yet. I cannot wait to see when we're reaching much higher energy shield and how this build will turn out, and then maybe we can start tanking like Uber Arbiter and so on. Till then, there is a lot of work to do, like finishing up my weapon or getting much better boots and so on. Till then, guys, I hope you enjoyed this update video. If you have any question, please leave a comment below, or you can find me on twitch.tv/Pudget2. Thanks for watching. I was Pudget. See you next time.